Scum. Subhuman scum.
The salubriousness of a Coventry car park. Quite a busy Coventry car park as well. You know, I just went in to grab my lunch, the Greggs, unhealthy. It's in two minds about whether to go to Greggs or not, and I kind of wish I hadn't, because when I came out, well, I found this bucket lying on the floor of my van, so I knew someone had been in there, and sure enough, the bastards. They've had me fucking power tools, and they've had me big DeWalt toolbox. They've left the Mega. It must have been, goes to show my handles as well, they've left them. Goes to show it was off a smash and grab job. No sign of damage to the van. And obviously I did lock it. I will lock it, I'm paranoid about locking it. But the security on vans is never great, is it? And it obviously hasn't taken them much time to defeat it. They pulled up, got the side door open, whipped off the first boxes they saw and legged it. And yeah, there go all my what were they? Not Milwaukee, Makita. I guess my Makita tool set. It was all quite old. I've had it 4 years. It was all a bit battered. Still, you know, still working, still worthy. Just bought a new battery. That's all gone. I haven't got the charger. That's at home. Yeah, you haven't got the charger, you fucks. But yeah, well, okay. Losing without any power tools now. At least I haven't lost my Mega, so you've got to look on the bright side. And they've had my Klein rolly bag, which was kind of open, so a lot of stuff's fallen out of it. There are still some bits and bobs that managed to escape. Things that, you know, would be a pain in the arse had I needed to replace them. Nonetheless, you start thinking about what's gone. And for example, what was in my main bag? I mean, like I said, I've got my primary tools there. My main case would have contained things like my Hioki. Oh, that's gutting, isn't it? I really like that little Hioki tester. What else is in there? There's going to be all sorts of just useful things, you know, those little tools you build up over time, and when you need them, you need them. And now for the next months going forward, I'm going to be like, oh yes, I just need to get hold of, oh no, I haven't got one of them anymore, have I? Because that was one of those lesser used tools that I'd built up in a very bespoke box that has now been lifted by some little scrote who steals from a working man. I always unload the van at night, so I know it's safe at night, at least from the main bits of shit getting stolen. But the trouble is, you only have to stop off somewhere in the day and you can be targeted, and even in a busy place like this where there's loads of people around, sure, no one's going to see anything. At least, you know, there's CCTV right up there, and security are going to look at that. And I've spoken to the police. Nothing's going to happen though, is it? This stuff's going to end up on eBay, and if I found it on eBay, it's going to no one's going to do anything about it. So that's that, I guess. I'll have to go and start spending some money on restocking, repurposing, building up a whole new toolbox and set of power tools. I never did like Fridays. Always on a Friday. Should have just stayed in bed this morning instead of doing a 55 quid job that I've come out here to do, which is going to cost me fucking hundreds now in lost time and tools. Just going through my list of what I've lost. YouTube's quite a handy thing, you know, especially when you've done toolbox tool videos in the past, because you can go back in there and go, oh yeah, and it's all the little things. There's three things I'm particularly gutted about, which is my Bosch 360-degree laser, expensive game, that thing. My Bosch drill driver thing, which is a nice little mini drill and impact driver in its tough built case thing I used to clip onto my side there. And of course, as I mentioned, the Hioki. It was only in the last video I was saying how much I like that little tester for a quick run around when fault finding. So yeah, but going through, I mean, there's all sorts of other things that you kind of forget that you don't have until you need them. Things like VDE stubby screwdrivers and Torx keys, and I had this special VDE Torx key for doing up like earth terminals at the head and that sort of stuff. I've lost my Klein CR3200A clamp meter as well. At least I've got lots of other clamp meters. So, you know, you've got to take a philosophical approach on this sort of stuff. And I suppose there's a couple of things to say. Probably not insured. I don't think I've got insurance on tools anyway, but I'm quite lucky in that this is the first time this has happened in all my years of doing this stuff. I know the likes of Nick Bundy's been done perhaps 3 or 4 times. So the fact that it's taken this long for it to happen to me, and what they've got away with isn't necessarily brilliant. It's going to be of little value to most of the people. I mean, we're talking 4-year-old power tools that have been battered, and we're talking about hand tools that have been largely battered. You know, they left my fucking Mega sitting there. You fucking dickheads. You left my fucking Mega sitting there, you dozy motherfuckers. So, yeah, that's funny. You could have had that away, but you didn't, because you're thick. What else did they leave? I've lost sort of batteries and things, but again, the batteries are all getting a bit long in the tooth, apart from one I generally just bought at Christmas. So it was only a couple of months old. So, you know, I might switch brands now from Makita to something else. Why not? I have to buy everything from afresh. And I was saying I probably don't have insurance on it anyway, because even if I had paid for insurance over the past sort of 10, 12 years, I'm sure that what they would have given me for the loss here today wouldn't have recouped all that loss. How did they get into the van? Well, the cops did say, are you sure you locked it? Now, you can never be 100% sure when you come back and find the van's unlocked, of course. But because the key fob doesn't work, it's muscle memory. I'm used to getting out, locking it, and I'm paranoid about locking it. I don't even like leaving it unlocked on the driveway while I'm sort of in and out, getting stuff in and out of it. So yes, I'm very much used to getting in and out of it and using the key in the door, because that's the way it works. But again, you know, it's transit locks. They're not great. And you might say, well, perhaps you should have put one of those great big fuck off deadlock things on the side. The thing is, if someone's going to get into your van, they're going to get in. And with this, it's hard to know whether it was opportunistic or not. Perhaps someone saw the van there, thought we can get into that, and they did. Whereas if there had been some kind of fuck off lock on the side, they might have gone, you know what, too difficult, mate. Or perhaps they would have just peeled a hole in the door. At least the van's not damaged. That's the main thing. The van, you know, the locks all work. I've checked them, so I'm not off the road. That's the main thing. I'm fucked for the rest of the day, but I'm not off the road. But I've got to go through my list now and start, I guess, buying a replacement bits. And it takes time to build up, to customize and build up a toolbox so that you've got all the right things in all the right place, and you know exactly where it is. And there's going to be a wrench for a while, because I'm going to come across jobs where bits and bobs are missing that you think ought to be there. And I'm going to keep an eye on the likes of Thief Bay as well, because if you go onto Thief Bay, you've got things. If I type in like the Hioki 3490, there's only 10 listings coming up for a Hioki 3490, and it's all from China, because I got mine from Farnell, which I don't know if that's the only place in the UK you can get it from, but they're certainly not being punted on eBay. So if you see a second-hand Hioki 3490 appear on Thief Bay, especially if it's got a green clip with it and a yellow crocodile clip lead, because they didn't come with the Hioki, I paired them up with that, and they were in the case when it went missing, then you'll know exactly where that's come from. But I imagine all this stuff's going to appear at a car boot sale with all the serial number scraped off there, because that's where they all end up. And how many tradespeople do you know flog their tools at car boot sales? Absolutely none, because we all use them until they die, and then we throw them and buy new ones, because that's the way it works. So when you go to these car boot sales and you see stalls laid out with all sorts of Makita and DeWalt and Milwaukee kit or whatever, that's all clearly been used. That's not some tradesperson going, well, I'm going to hang up my tool belt and retire and flog all my tools. Most of that stuff's been fucking robbed, mate. And if the cops weren't so lazy, they'd just go out there and collar these assholes and beat out of them where they fucking got them from. But there you go. So what I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm going to grab one of my old toolboxes, perhaps one of my old Stanleys out of the loft. I've still got my old Stanleys, and I'm just going to start sticking things back together again. But at least I've still got my hand tools. I've still got my Mega. They didn't get away with any MFT. The Hioki was the only test they got away with that, and the Klein clamp meter. And yeah, I guess just keep calm and carry on, because I've got to be back out there Monday morning trying to earn my beans back. So I won't do any coffee shout-outs on this, because who wants to be associated with a video about robbing motherfuckers, stupid robbing motherfuckers, because they failed to take the one case that had the really expensive thing in there. You assholes.
This country